Hiring Right, HR Mastery for African Entrepreneurs. This 7-module course will give you an understanding of hiring practices tailored for entrepreneurs operating in the diverse and evolving landscape of Africa. From foundational principles to practical application, participants will gain insight into effective recruitment, talent retention, and building a robust team to drive business success. Understanding the African talent landscape. Kofi Annan, the former Secretary General of the United Nations, once said that Africa's future will be shaped by its young people, and so we must invest in their education, their skills, and their dreams. They are the continent's greatest resource. Overview of the African job market, demographics, and workforce dynamics. Africa's job market, demographics, and workforce dynamics are a complex and fascinating tapestry, both immense challenges and promising opportunities. And so understanding these interwoven elements is crucial for assessing the continent's economic potential and charting a path towards sustainable growth and development. Now, I'm going to explain some certain terms. Number one, demographics. Africa boasts the world's youngest and fastest growing population with a projected 2.4 billion people by 2100. This demographic dividend presents a potential labor force of unprecedented size. Number two, with over 60% of sub-Saharan Africa's population being under 25 years old, this creates a large pool of young workers entering the labor markets. Urbanization. Cities are rapidly expanding with a projected 60% of the population living in urban areas by 2050. This shift creates new opportunities but also challenges in terms of infrastructure, housing, and job creation. The next term I'm going to be explaining is job market. So the informal sector, characterized by small-scale businesses and self-employment, constitutes a significant portion of the African economy, employing between 60 and 80% of the workforce. While offering flexibility and income, it often lacks formal benefits and social protection. Limited formal job creation. The formal sector, including government, corporations, and large businesses, struggles to keep pace with the growing labor force. This mismatch contributes to high unemployment rates, particularly among the youth. Skills gap. The skills required for available jobs often don't match the skills possessed by the workforce. This gap hinders productivity and competitiveness, necessitating investment in education and training. Here are some businesses in the informal sector in Africa by regions. In West Africa, Nigeria, for example, you have the street food vendors, the tailors, hairdressers, mechanics, motorcycle taxi drivers called the Okadas, and small-scale farmers. In Ghana, you have traders in markets, shoemakers, carpenters, traditional healers, mobile money agents. A glimpse into East Africa. In Kenya, matatu minibus drivers, small-scale farmers, charcoal producers, handicraft makers, tourism service producers. In Ethiopia, you have the coffee farmers, weavers, traditional brewers, construction workers, and shoemakers. In Southern Africa, South Africa, for example, you have the spaza shops, waste pickers, informal taxis, car washes, and hairdressers. In Namibia, you have handicraft makers, street vendors, livestock traders, traditional healers, and construction workers. A quick journey to North Africa, and in Egypt to be specific, you have the street vendors, construction workers, mechanics, taxi drivers, small-scale farmers. In Tunisia, you have the artisans, farmers markets, small-scale textile producers, construction workers, and hairdressers. This is by no means an exhaustive list. It's just a quick glimpse into the different businesses across the African region. Here are some of the key skill gaps missing in Africa. Technical and vocational skills. Shortage of skilled workers in construction, electronics, mechanics, and renewable energy. Digital skills. Lack of proficiency in computer literacy, coding, online marketing, and data analysis. Entrepreneurial skills. Business management, financial literacy, market research, product development skills are limited. Soft skills. Communication, teamwork, problem solving, critical thinking, leadership skills are often undervalued. In hiring across Africa, there are certain cultural considerations that you must put in perspective, because Africa is a vast and diverse continent with over 50 countries, and each has its own unique cultures, traditions, and social norms. Here are some cultural nuances from 3 major tribes in Africa. East Africa, respect for elders. Hierarchies and seniority are often important, especially in interviews. Community orientation, emphasize teamwork, contribution to the community, and building relationships during interviews. In South Africa, Ubuntu principle, the focus on collaboration, respect, and empathy during interactions. Code switching, candidates may be comfortable navigating between formal and informal language registers. Adapt your style accordingly. Time flexibility, punctuality may be less rigid, prioritizing relationships and social obligations. Plan for some fluidity in interviewing scheduling. In West Africa, the greeting rituals is very important, so taking time for proper greetings and introduction is crucial. Show respect for elders and traditional hierarchies. Indirectness and storytelling. Candidates may use stories and metaphors to convey information. Actively listen and seek deeper understanding when interviewing them. Negotiation. Prepare for salary and terms to be negotiated. Be open to discussion and compromise within reasonable boundaries. Southern Africa, direct communication. Expect straightforward questioning and assertive responses. Prepare clear and concise answers. Formal education. High value is placed on academic qualifications and professional titles. Highlight relevant degrees and experiences. Family connections. Family networks play a significant role, demonstrating understanding of local customs and relationships can be beneficial. This diversity naturally presents a range of considerations when it comes to hiring in an African environment. Recognizing cultural diversity, global reach. Are you recruiting locally, nationally, or internationally? Each region has its distinct cultural norms that influence communication, work styles, and expectations. Demographics. Consider diverse backgrounds based on ethnicity, religion, gender, age, sexual orientation, and disability. Each group may have unique cultural values and perspectives. 2. Avoiding bias and promoting fairness. You have to structure your interview process. You need to use standardized interview questions and evaluation criteria to ensure everyone has an equal chance to shine regardless of cultural background. Blind resume reviews. Consider removing personal information like names and locations from resumes to limit unconscious bias based on cultural affiliation. Multilingual communication. If your company operates in multiple languages, provide translation services or conduct interviews in relevant languages to avoid excluding qualified candidates. Cultural communication nuances, non-verbal cues. Be mindful of eye contact, gestures, and body language, as these can vary significantly across cultures. Misinterpretation can lead to misjudgments of a candidate's ability or interests. Communication styles. Some cultures emphasize directness and assertiveness, while others favor indirect communication and respect for hierarchy. you have to adapt your communication style to suit the candidate's cultural background. In my experience recruiting in Nigeria and having conducted several interviews, certain individuals might have been perceived by other interviewers as arrogant, whereas they are not. They're just very confident and assertive and very articulate in the interviews. Assessing cultural fit. Company culture. You have to define your company's core values and work environment. Look for candidates who share these values and demonstrate compatibility with your existing team. Diversity and inclusion initiatives. Showcase your commitment to diversity and inclusion in your job postings and through the hiring process. This attracts talents who value similar principles. Promoting cultural sensitivity. Diversity training. Provide training to your hiring team and employees on cultural sensitivity and unconscious bias. This fosters a more inclusive and understanding work environment. Mentorship programs. Pair new hires from diverse backgrounds with mentors who can provide them guidance and support as they navigate the company culture. Regular feedback. Encourage open communication and feedback from all employees to identify and address any cultural challenges within the workplace. What are cultural nuances? Cultural nuances are the subtle, often unspoken aspects of a culture that influence attitudes, behaviors, and interactions. They encompass the unspoken rules, unspoken values, and subtle communication cues that shape how people navigate their world. Biases. Unconscious biases based on cultural expectations can influence who gets hired. An interviewer from a direct communication culture might favor candidates who speak up confidently, while overlooking someone from a collectivist culture who values consensus and team-based discussions. Workplace dynamics, collaboration. Team dynamics can be impacted by differing approaches to teamwork, leadership styles, and decision-making processes. Individualistic versus collectivistic values can clash, and hierarchical structures might create discomfort for employees accustomed to horizontal work environments. Communication. Misunderstandings can arise due to different communication styles, tone, and emphasis. Directness might be perceived as aggression in some cultures, while indirectness could be seen as indecisiveness in others. Understanding cultural nuances is about creating a work environment that acknowledges and appreciates the richness of diverse perspectives, communication styles, and values. Identifying skill gaps and demands. Identifying skill gaps and demands in the African market is crucial for both individuals seeking employment and organizations aiming to thrive in the continent's rapidly evolving economic landscape. And what are the factors influencing skill gaps and demands? Number one, economic diversification. African economies are transitioning from reliance on natural resources to embracing new sectors like technology, agriculture, and creative industries. This shift generates new skill demands while rendering some traditional skill sets less relevant. Number two, technological advancements. Automation and digitalization are transforming industries across the continent, increasing the demand for digital skills like data analysis, coding, and digital marketing. Educational landscape. Educational systems often lag behind market needs, failing to adequately equip graduates with the skills required by employers. This creates a mismatch between available workforce skills and actual job requirements. Assessing prevalent gaps and aligning recruitment strategies with industry demands. Promoting digital literacy and upskilling initiatives. Offering accessible digital skills training programs can equip individuals with the tools needed to thrive in the digital economy. Encouraging public-private partnerships. Fostering collaboration between governments, private companies, and educational institutions can lead to the development of targeted and effective skills development programs. Supporting entrepreneurship and innovation. Fostering an entrepreneurial ecosystem can create new job opportunities and encourage individuals to develop in-demand skills. Focus on soft skills. While technical skills are important, don't overlook the value of soft skills like communication, teamwork, and problem solving. These skills are often just as crucial for success in today's workplace. In conclusion, this module has equipped you with a foundational understanding of the key dynamics, challenges, and opportunities shaping the employment landscape across this diverse continent.